Welcome back to the English Teacher's Break Room. I'm Rachel Martin.
And I'm Ellen Berry, and we are English language specialists working through RELO Andes.
That's the Regional English Language Office at the U.S. Embassy in Lima, Peru.
We will be creating new videos that break down the Aprendo en Casa materials for each new learning experience during the 2021 school year.
In today's video, we are going to give you an overview of Learning Experience 3. Then we will discuss specific information related to the pre-A1, A1, and A2 levels. After that, we will share a teaching tip, and finally, we will share an additional resource that you can use with your lessons. If you're looking for the timestamps for these, check the comments.
Learning Experience 3 is called How to Manage Stress. It's a subject I think we can all relate to, and hopefully it will give your students some strategies for managing stress during these times.
This learning experience is made up of 4 activities designed to be taught over 4 weeks of lessons.
For Activity 1, the main texts are Facebook posts from teens who are having difficulty during lockdown. There are comments from other teens under each post. The Facebook posts are followed by comprehension exercises based on the information in the posts and comments.
For Activity 2, there is an audio recording of 2 teens, one from the Ukraine and one from Peru, who talk about what they do and don't do because of the lockdowns. That is followed by listening comprehension exercises that practice using the correct verbs.
In Activity 3, there is an audio recording of 2 friends discussing how they reduce stress. The vocabulary focus is on commonly used verbs.
Activity 4, which will happen during the 4th week of the unit, is the do-it-yourself activity. For the final project, students are asked to write a testimony or narrative with information about how they manage stress during a lockdown.
For Learning Experience 3, all of the levels use 4 adjectives throughout the learning experience. Those adjectives are bored, stressed, happy, sad. Also, all of the levels use common action verbs such as walk, cook, study, read, draw, play, listen, dance, and help. Rachel and I recommend that you review this key vocabulary at the beginning of the lesson so students know how to pronounce the words and what they mean.
Lastly, all of the activities make a note of the subject, verb, object, sentence structure that is common in English. There are many examples of this sentence structure throughout the text and audios. For more advanced students, teachers may want to create an extra exercise, such as a scavenger hunt through the text, to emphasize this grammatical point.
Pre-A1 reinforces vocabulary about family and reinforces the use of the connector and. New material for pre-A1 includes the 4 adjectives that we already mentioned, as well as the action verbs. Knowing that these are new terms for most students, we suggest that teachers spend some time reinforcing the meaning of these words. For the DIY activity, pre-A1 students are supported with guiding questions and a fill-in-the-blank template.
A1 introduces the word don't into the conversations and audios. The word don't might be tricky for A1 students because it is used to form the negative, and it's also a contraction. So take a few minutes early on to make sure everyone understands this important word. For the A1 DIY, students write short sentences that follow the subject, verb, object sentence structure. And students practice using the connector and. There is a template and examples for students to follow.
The A2 DIY activity expects students to write at a higher level and produce a complete paragraph. Students are given a framework for support. First, there is an introductory sentence to finish. Then, students write their own sentences about how they manage stress. And finally, students write a closing sentence for the paragraph based on a model. For students who are more advanced, they can be encouraged to use the modals should and shouldn't as part of their writing. Every learning experience comes with una guía para el estudiante, a student guide. In the student guide, there is a colorful infographic like this. The infographic breaks down the learning experience into activities, explains the activities in detail, and provides details about the final DIY student project. This is an awesome tool, and if you haven't checked it out, I encourage you to do so.
Yes, I agree. Even though this is called a student guide, it is really helpful and a clear overview for teachers. I personally love seeing a diagram that explains how it all fits together. And on this infographic, you can see step by step how each of the activities connect and how the activities build skills to get students to the DIY at the end.
So, check out the student guide before planning your lessons to get a full understanding of the whole learning experience.
Now, we would like to share a video resource with you. This video is entitled, How Teens Are Coping with COVID-19's Mental Health Crisis, and it is part of a CNN broadcast. If you are looking for an extension activity for your A1 or A2 students, this 8-minute video could be a great option.
8 minutes is pretty long, but you could show the video in shorter segments. And remember to turn on the captions. So Rachel, I guess that wraps up another English Teacher's Break Room video.
We hope you found this information helpful. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, and we'll see you back here in about a month before you start planning for Learning Experience 4.
And remember, just because you're working from home
doesn't mean you are alone.